You're wondering why I have a little blue paper clip on my shirt. I had to use my imagination when the clip went missing, so. Good morning. Good to see everyone and to be here together as we'll just hold that vision of the sun coming out. Yes. So how is your imagination today? A mother looked out her kitchen window and she noticed thunderclouds forming, and concerned about her 7-year-old daughter who was walking home from school pretty soon, the 3 blocks home. She went out to meet her, and as she went out there, the thunder rumbled, the sky darkened, little slivers of lightning started, and she noticed her daughter coming forward, and she was surprised because her daughter was just strolling along nonchalantly, and then every time the lightning flashed, the daughter would stop and smile. And so seeing her mother, the little girl ran up to her and said, "Mommy, all the way home, God's been taking my picture." Imagination. That's our spiritual power for the month. And I saw this picture and it just cracked me up, you know. The unicorn and the Corvette or something there. So imagination is the true magic carpet, Norman Vincent Peale once said. And so where has your magic carpet taken you this morning? Where do you want it to take you from here? So that's what we're going to be exploring this month, our power of imagination, to learning how to be more adept at it, to create the kind of life we love living at every age, no matter what age we are, because we know we live in God time. In this eternal now, we're living in God's time. The outer calendar says years and dates and days, but it's really now. We live in God time. So let's call this power forth with some affirmations, and I will say them all first, and I will invite you to join me. My imagination is a divine dream catcher. I am filled with inspired ideas and unlimited creativity. I consciously create and experience a lavish, healthy, abundant, and purpose-filled life. I am the architect of my life, and I intend to create a masterpiece. I envision the best and delete the rest. And so it is. So I invite you, if you choose to stand and put some motion into it, let's affirm these together. Together, my imagination is a divine dream catcher. I am filled with inspired ideas and unlimited creativity. I consciously create and experience a lavish, healthy, abundant, and purpose-filled life. I am the architect of my life, and I intend to create a masterpiece. I envision the best and delete the rest. And so it is. I may be seated. I envision the best and delete the rest. Isn't that great? So we can use our power of imagination right now. If there's an open seat next to you, who's ever maybe in that seat or usually sits there, just imagine them smiling and happy. Maybe they're traveling or eating scones and tea, or in their jammies, or with family, wherever they are, just imagine them smiling and happy. Yes. Yeah. Good visual, huh? So we're always creating, always. And we know that when we're aligned with Spirit, with God, we can create so much good, right? And we've all done that. You've all done that, creating good in your life. And then when we're feeling separate in consciousness, we create the not so good. You know, when we're in fear, separation, we're still creating, but we can create things that later we think, why did I do that? So what we're talking about today, this spiritual power, really relates to our unity principle of the law of mind action. What that says that what we feed with our thoughts, our words, our actions, what we visualize, what we affirm, and with feeling, not just in the head, but with feeling, we co-create and bring into our experience. So your imagination is the movement of universal mind energy. Isn't that great? We are co-creators. So we know that in order to make positive changes in our lives, we must make changes in the way we image things in our mind, and even sometimes revise our interpretation of situations, or of people, or even of ourselves. Which goes beyond the saying, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Has anyone said that? Yeah. So am I sticking to my story, or is my story sticking to me? Sometimes when we get aware of that story that's not helpful, maybe it served us in the past, but the time so-and-so did such and such, and we would get ready to forgive that or release it. Sometimes a story, feels like it's sticking, like we want it to go away. So what is the solvent to dissolve that? It's that, yes, that love, that forgiveness dissolves that, and release. And on the daily word, talked about release today. Releasing that, being willing to let it go. So this is the most creative of our faculties, our imaginations. I think I heard that earlier today with the song with Greg. And I had the experience of doing this in a group. Past month has been very full. I'm on the Unity Southwest region, and we all met in Arizona at this Franciscan retreat center, which was beautiful. And so I drove there, which was interesting. And we did board business, and we also imagined and visioned a new mission statement for the whole Unity region. And this was quite a process of prayer, and then sharing what was coming through with our images, and working it for a couple of days. And here's what came forth. How about this for the Unity Southwest region? That means this church and every church in our region, which is Southern California, Las Vegas, and Arizona. Unity Southwest region is a catalyst for the emergence of divine consciousness. Powerful. We're not quite sure what that means yet. But that's part of the imagination. When we get the idea, it's such a big idea. And then we go back to prayer. We go to our spiritual qualities of faith, knowing that we will be shown what the steps are, and spiritual understanding to see if it's coming from spirit or ego, the steps. So that's all part of the process when you create, when I create, when we create together. It's like that back and forth, like the breath of spirit, enlivening the vision. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore tells us that imagination is the faculty of mind that images and forms, and with our imagination, we lay hold of ideas and clothe them with substance. So it's consistently and persistently clothe them with substance. What is substance? It's that energy of God that creates form. So holding that vision. I think I heard in the Daily Word too is about cleaning out the old clothes. So it's like letting go, releasing again those old ideas and clothing what you want to bring into your life with substance, with emotion, with thought, with energy. So the question of the day is, what ideas or images do you want to bring into manifestation in your life? Do you get a picture? That's good to take into prayer this week. If nothing comes automatically, take that into prayer, because we're always creating. What do you want to have that co-creative energy aligned with God working with in your life? Maybe it's greater health and well-being, or financial abundance, inner peace, harmonious relationships, or purpose, passion in living, sharing your gifts of who and what you came here to be. This writer, Henry J. Taylor, reminds us, imagination lit every lamp in this country, built every church, performed every act of kindness and progress, created more and better things for more people. It is the priceless ingredient for a better day. So you will have the priceless ingredient for a better day. That reminds me of a recipe. You know, we have this priceless ingredient for a recipe for a beautiful day. Plato, Greek philosopher, cautioned us over 2,000 years ago to be careful of the images we put in our minds, to avoid putting images of violence or fright into our minds, especially not into children's minds. Rather, we are to put pleasant images of beauty, joy, peace, and harmony, consistently and persistently. So that's why you're all here, right? To practice that and take it out into your family, to the world, wherever we go. So it becomes more automatic than, oh yeah, I remember, I have this tool, I can do this. Because if we look at what's collective consciousness, there's a lot of energy going on right now, isn't there? It reminds me of confluence of rivers crashing, of different waves of thought, you know? And on a global scale, you know, if we think of the media being relentless, consistently and persistently, and what viewers are being fed, is it aligned with love, with God, with the highest, or is it fear, blasting fear and division, and trying to encourage viewers to view others in an image, others in a negative way? Those people they've never met, right? All because, you know, the unrest, all because of the way people image each other. So we have this powerful tool to image the God Spirit in each person, and it coming forth in divine solutions. Every time you see the news and something strikes your heart, to pray and ask, what could be the best outcome of this? Because the newscaster's probably not going to say it. But you have the power of imagination to create a space mentally for it to come forth. And of course you are wise with this, but we all know about the marketing campaigns aimed at having us image ourselves in negative ways, to buy this product, to be liked, to be loved, to be, quote, enough. But we know the spiritual truth is that you are enough right now, right here, as you are, loved as you are. So I think this is more important than ever, to employ our power of imagination for good, for unfolding good. Because images of worry, fear, feelings of unworthiness, that's someone else's imagination, not connected to source. Fear is not connected to source. I think it was Irma Bombacht who said this, that worry is a misuse of our imagination. She said, worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. We've been there, right? So you have the power to say no to any broadcast of fear, lack, or limitation. Say, nope, you're not going to hijack my power of imagination. This is my spiritual power. So this is your divine birthright as co-creators. And we know that when we're inspired by God ideas, we inspire others, we heal not only ourselves but others, we unite. This has nothing to what I'm saying next, but I think it's just beautiful. Like, who would ever thought of a stained glass seahorse? Yeah, beautiful. But those God ideas that come through you, heal you, inspire you, and not only you, but those in your circle and ripple out. I was really moved by this story of this restaurant in Tokyo, Japan, where someone named Shiro Oguni went to visit an assisted care home with memory care patients, and he was so moved when he came out, and his heart was just wanting to do something with the people who were kind of just shut away. And so he got this divine idea that came, and he opened this restaurant called the Restaurant of Mistaken Orders. And all of the waiters and waitresses are elderly people with varying degrees of dementia. And who's been a waiter or a server, you know that memory is something that's pretty important, right? But this is so interesting. So they're all put to work as servers. They take the orders, they go back and deliver. And he said that 37% of the time, people got the wrong orders. But 99% of the time, there was customer satisfaction. Because everyone who went there knew the outline of what was happening at the restaurant. And just watching a video on so much joy, with the servers and with the people, with the food. And so it was like a mystery dinner, to go. But you were participating in something much larger that included people who had been shut out or forgotten. And so love served there as well, right? Reverend Sharon Connors, one of the former ministers here, she wrote a great book called Adventures in Resilience, Ignite the 12 Powers in You to Create a Radiant Life. If any of you read her book, it's really good. So I'm going to share something from her book about imagination. She said, your imagination is a miracle-working tool for creating pictures that guide your steps to make those visions real in your life circumstances. What you see on the screen of your mind can be a magnet that draws necessary resources to manifest the vision. Imagination is our interior filmmaker, and we always have a choice about which films we produce. Isn't that a great metaphor? Yeah, the interior filmmaker. What film shall I make today? A comedy, a romantic comedy, an adventure? Watching too much news, I know that the horror story starts. There we go. Yeah. So you have a choice. What film do you want to run in your mind today. She says, what would it be like if you banished fear and all the self-limiting pictures that your fear produced? What would it be like if you banished regret and resentment and all the painful pictures they produce? What would that be like? We have that power to recontextualize any experience that we've had, to find it as a piece in the mosaic of our lives. Not this big chunk we keep slamming our head into, but to say, you know what, this happened, I grew from this, it wasn't fun, it was really hard. But you know what, I can see the gifts from this, and I'm just going to place it over here in the mosaic of my life. That's just part of my life. But I am bigger than that. God in me is bigger than that. We are creating something bigger than that. Bigger than the past. The Apostle Paul in his letter to the Philippians 4:9. Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think on these things. Isn't that the beauty of spiritual community? We come here to remember, to remember, to gather, to remember, to image the beauty, to image the possibilities, to rise above collective consciousness that wants to image other things. We connect with our divine nature, the God essence, to create a better life, to enhance the good life that you have already. Yeah. I was really moved by stories about Tina Turner. Have you been reading those? And she passed 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there was so much I didn't know about her life and how she escaped domestic violence finally. And she decided that she was going to imagine a new life and create a new life, starting from scratch, basically. And what a blessing, not only for her, but for the world, her sharing her gift and releasing that which was not aligned with God, that which was not healthy, letting that go, breaking away, and moving into her glory of God and expression and her unique gifts. And you each have your unique gifts as well. There may be something that's being asked to be released so you can move into that more. That's the Eiffel Tower that she's on, and I researched that a little bit, and that was not photoshopped. That she climbed the Eiffel Tower in her heels. Do not try this at home. But what a symbol of power, you know, like at one hand, oh my gosh. So to release that was to allow yourself to be filled with that power and that glory and that support, that energy, that life that just is waiting for us to get that stuff out of the way so we can express more. Yeah. So in essence, we're invited to see through a third eye. And in the 12 powers, can you guess where the power of imagination is located in the body? Yeah, right there, the third eye. If you're familiar with the chakras, that's that capability to bypass our physical eyes and see things in a fresh way. So we are able to imagine, to see beauty, to see good and perfect health, to see prosperity that our physical eyes may not be able to see because of clouds in the consciousness. Charles Fillmore said, with this spiritual faculty, it is possible for one to penetrate into the fourth dimension, or what is usually called the kingdom of the heavens, and to discern the trend of the spiritual forces. The open and receptive and believing mind can see the things that take place in the Christ mind, thus transcending the capacity of the unillumined natural mind. So divine imagination helps illumine that Christ mind that is already here, already within you. The power of imagination to open even more the receptive and the believing mind, connecting with the Christ mind. So right now, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and just take a breath and imagine your best afternoon. When you leave these doors, what would be your most delightful, best afternoon? And even if it's just one thing, so just hold that as a seed to unfurl in this time here. So we know we can make this connection with our divine imaginations through meditation, through our dreams, through our waking visions. And to honor our divine imagination, sometimes I think, don't we just like discount our imagination, like, oh, or with other people, oh, that's just your imagination, or am I imagining that, or you know, that we doubt it. Sometimes we don't take it seriously. But just know that it's your creative, co-creative power with God. It's your God coming through saying, hey, guess what? Look at this, look at this. Coming through, coming through. In my very lengty drive to Arizona, thankfully, I learned some lessons not to drive A on Mother's Day weekend, and B, Freeway 10 is always under construction, so those were a little tough lessons, but that's okay. But on the way back, I decided to take 2 days and stop in Blythe. Has anybody ever been to Blythe? Yeah. Oh. Why would someone stop there? Yeah, to get a break from driving. But I found this hotel that was very interesting. There was a couple, and when I checked in, the woman gave me the story about the hotel, because I thought, why? I think the couple was from Poway. I thought, why would they move out to Blythe? So she told me that she just cashed in her 401k, and she'd always had a dream of owning a hotel and decorating it. And her rooms were so cute. I mean, just soothing blue and all the, architectural features. And she was so proud of it and just so, enthused. She said, this is my baby. And I was so happy for her. Like, that was her dream come true. Her imagination. And then she took the steps to go there. So your dream is waiting for you too. Whatever it may be, wherever and whatever it may be. So let's close with a prayer, and I am going to thank Reverend Sharon Connors again for this prayer from her book. I really like it. Great and magnificent architect, holder of a divine plan for my life, I give thanks that I can catch a vision of the amazing good possible for me. I release all veils that block my clear view of the exciting possibilities for my relationships, career, health, finances, and creative expression. You now set my feet upon the path to fulfill the divine visions that live in me. Thank you, God. Amen.